I'm going to be posting some jobs opportunities for Cameroon on LinkedIn. Go on LinkedIn, try to connect, build a good profile, try to connect with people with managerial roles in organizations that you're interested in. Send them your CV inbox, send them a message, send them a motivation letter. It's very important. Your cover letter, sometimes supersedes your CV, oh sorry, your degree. And then also, it's not always about having a degree in that sector. Okay, if you're very passionate about a particular sector, I ended up having work in marketing, but I never had a marketing degree. That's because I was passionate about selling, and my employer at the time could see that in the way I was engaging in my language, that I was passionate about it, and that um you know I would probably do my best to succeed in that industry. And I got the job and I did really well. Amongst my colleagues, I think I was one of the best in terms of meeting objectives, sales objectives. Another thing which I wanted to mention quickly is that every job has some sort of an induction process. There is no job, if you leave one company to the other, even if they're in the same industry or same sector, the new company you've gone to doesn't necessarily have the same processes as the old one you were working for. So they would definitely do some sort of on the job training. They'll do some sort of induction into their company culture, into their company processes. So don't be worried about that aspect, because if you leave Diageo to go to Brasserie du Cameroon, they will induct you, they will train you. So most employers actually do train people. So if you see a job opportunity, just apply and make sure that in your cover letter, you you sort of tell your story to the employer. Tell your story. Most employers don't even look at the CVs nowadays. They look at your cover letter, okay? Which is something that is supposed to be very detailed and very catchy. Another thing that people generally say is that there are limited jobs in Cameroon. Not so true. There are quite a few jobs in Cameroon, and I get notifications every day about new opportunities. Like I said earlier in the audio, I spoke to a few CEOs yesterday, and they did tell me these things that they're looking for in a prospective employee. They say you have to make sure that you have the right diploma. Yeah, for the industry you're applying for, you cannot want to become a welder, but your diploma is in accounting. That's a bit extreme. In sensitive cases or for sensitive industries, you have to have the right diploma. Otherwise, you'll be wasting your time, deflating yourself, because you will never get shortlisted, and it can really affect your morale. Okay. You have to be very enthusiastic as well through your body language, your physical appearance. Some people go for job interviews. I ask myself, are you going to a nightclub? For example, a couple of years ago, in fact, for this same Danish multinational, um, I was working for, they were looking for my department. I was boss of that department. I was looking to hire an accountant, and I got a few. I tried to find, an accountant for 3 months. You can't believe it. People complain all the time that there's no work in Cameroon. There's no work. But when you're looking for staff, you can't find them. And quite recently, we're looking to hire a marketing manager for one of our businesses, in Cameroon, and we couldn't find one. We couldn't. But every year, people graduate from the university with marketing degrees. Where are they? You can't find them. Even when you find them, they don't have the right attitude. They're not enthusiastic. Their body language doesn't tell you that they're willing and able to work. You're applying into a business where you're going to be paid for the work you do. So what is it that you bring to the table? And also, you have to associate yourself with institutions. Once, if you've just graduated from school, I recommend that you start, from small companies where you can learn a lot. If you get into a big organization where things are quite regimented, it's difficult for you to first off talk to your boss on a one-on-one, and secondly to really understand how things are done on a small scale. So I would recommend that you get, well, the CEO, one of the CEOs I spoke to, says that it's recommended for you to get into small organizations for starters, you know, where you can gain hands-on experience on how to do things and then climb up the ladder in that industry. Okay. And one of them also said that it's important for you to do some informative research for the industry that you want to work in. If you want to become or you want to work in the accounting industry, I recommend that you do your research because accounting can be very taxing. It can be very demanding. Before I left the industry, I used to suffer from terrible migraines, excruciating pain because it's so demanding. If you miss a figure, you can end up in jail for that. So you have to be very mindful about the fact that certain industries are quite demanding. And if you want to get into that industry, you have to do your research. If you're a family person, especially for ladies, you don't want to get into a job where you will find yourself, at the office at late hours. Your kids are, missing out on quality time with you. You're unable to cook for your husband. And it starts to affect your whole life. You don't really have a work-life balance. So it's very important for you to be mindful about some certain things that they don't generally tell you, but which you have to, research on your own. Another thing is about passion. You have to be passionate about what it is that you want to do in life. Employers can see that through your CV. They can see that in your track record. If you've maintained a good track record throughout your educational parcours, and also the kind of associations that you have been a member of. Were you a part of your external association? Were you a part of the ESCO? Did you hold managerial roles? Have you in the past applied for internships? It can be paid or unpaid. Oftentimes when you leave school, it's recommended for you not to be agitated about paid internships. It's what is most important is for you to gain experience. From that experience, then your price is going to definitely go up, because when you're applying for a job and you're confident about your capabilities and what you're bringing to the table, it can be seen through your application. It can be seen once again through your cover letter. You have to be optimistic, you have to be positive, and you have to be daring. Okay. So another aspect which was mentioned was impromptu interviews. Like I said earlier, you have to be ready at all times. Some people can be very rude on the phone once they pick up the phone. I don't know why, but it's just something that is, quite brain numbing to me. Why you would pick up the phone and the first thing you do is just be aggressive. Why do you do that? You can miss up on opportunities if you pick up the phone and you're talking to your future employer and the first thing you say was, hello, who is this? Come on, be kind on the phone. You just put them off. And another thing you need to do is to talk to the people around you. Tell them what it is that you're trying to achieve. If you're looking for work, talk to the people around you. They don't necessarily know you're looking for work. Don't assume that people know that you're jobless. Just talk to the people around you. It can be your friends, your family, friends, everyone around you. You possibly can tell that you're looking for work. You've just graduated, I'm looking for work, and try to attend network events as well where you can meet other people. Go on social media platforms, try to connect with bosses from different organizations that you would love to work at. Try to volunteer your services as well, and try as much as possible, last but not the least, to prepare a CV that is compelling and enticing. Okay, some people, their CVs are like a notebook. Come on, make a one-page CV where you can compress your skills and your qualifications into, and make it easy for any employer to be able to run through your CV and say, hey, I'm interested in this person or I'm not. Once you start making the process confusing or difficult for them, they'll just put your CV aside, because oftentimes there's so many applications. But once your CV is catchy, okay, they'll put it to the left or to the right. If it's complicated to understand, they'll just put it in the bin. They don't have time for that. It's you who is sick and it's you who needs the pills from the doctor. So you have to make sure that your CV is top notch. I hope I've covered all the points, and I hope that you find this useful and you can go on the internet and get your own 500K job. Thank you so much for listening. Look forward to speaking. You can read the article about this on www.youngandindependent.com. Young and Independent is one word, and the title of the article is Landing a 500K Job in a Multinational. You can read all the details on there and look forward to speaking next time. Cheers. Bye bye.